There are three employee traps that most employees don't know exist. Why? Because work isn't like school, and bosses usually feel they have an advantage over us by having us being in the dark. The first employee trap is how most bosses expect us to read their minds about the work they should be doing. But don't ask for guidance from your boss that will take up too much of their time and focus. So have quick 3 or 5 minute, yes, that's short, chats with your boss. You should have asked for initial guidance during the interview or when you were told of the promotion or at your annual review. Put that out there. Hey, can I come back to you? Little short spurts, a minute to 5 minutes for guidance. Of course, they're going to say yes to it. And the second employee trap is the loyalty tax. This is where your annual pittance of raises each year doesn't keep up with what the new employees are getting. Yes, this isn't fair. But your bosses and companies pull this scam all the time. And of course, they have what they feel is a sound reason for robbing you of your fair compensation. In short, they are banking on your loyalty or fear of change for you to stay and be taken advantage of. If you're with a small company or are viewed as a superstar, you can show the going compensation rates for your role elsewhere. You can find this on glassdoor.com that I mentioned in our interview video. Otherwise, it is best to get a job offer from another company. I've seen people offered 50, 65%, and even more over their current jobs for taking the same job somewhere else. Sometimes your company will match the offer, but I would think twice before staying put. Most of the time, you'll be viewed as a traitor who put them over the barrel in order to get a raise. Yes, this isn't fair, but it is life. There are situations where your current company had great plans for you and used your outside offer to immediately implement that plan. Again, be careful with that. The third employee trap is being viewed as defensive when being unfairly criticized by your boss or even fairly criticized by your boss. First, it is okay to say to your boss, it would help me better at whatever the complaint is, if you gave me some examples for greater context. What your boss wants to hear is how you learned from that mistake and won't make it again. Now, that mistake may not have been something you did or didn't do, but whether and how you communicated the action and its outcome to your boss. If so, ask your boss how they would like you to communicate this with them. Most bosses would be relieved that their criticism isn't causing some ugly scene and will give you a lot of slack for your professional approach. Of course, it goes without saying that if your boss is correct with their criticism of you, that you should agree with them. Thank them for the feedback and tell them how you won't make that mistake again. You'll never be able to talk them out of their view about your mistake, and they will appreciate that you took it like an adult. Sometimes humor can save your job. I ticked off my boss by complaining to him about him trying to steal a prospect of mine. Well, I was instructed to call him at a set time. Now, if I was defensive, he'd fired me. If I pleaded for mercy, he would treat me like crap at that point moving forward. But I knew I had a third option, self-deprecating humor. When I reached him on the phone, before he had a chance to start yelling at me, I said, "Before you say anything, I just want to plead temporary insanity." He laughed and then said something to the effect of, "That's water under the bridge. Let's just move on." I knew to quit at yes and said, "Thank you." And we ended our call. Our talk was less than a minute. With these and all of our videos, feel free to email me a question so I can answer it without revealing who you are. This will help you and help our entire group.